Thank you so much to today's Patreon sponsors, Film Swag, Dr. Dread, Folk Bear, Minnesota Wax, SNS, and our new patron, Royal Perp. Hello everyone, my name is AndrewAJT and welcome to a bit of an OSRS vlog. Today I'm going to talk about how does OSRS compare to other games. Now I am still kind of on a hiatus from OSRS, just been playing other games and busy with other things, although I did play a little bit the other day to create a clan. The clan is AndrewAJT62, same as the Friends chat, which I guess is what it's called now, Clan Chat and Friends chat, just like RuneScape 3. And the clan update is very good. I'm still getting familiar with it, some of the settings and all that, but I gave some other people admin permissions, I guess, to help with some of that, so it looks like it's going okay so far. And I do really enjoy the updates, so props to Jagex for that. Anyone can feel free to join my clan as well. You can just ask for help in the Friends chat or in the Discord linked in the description. So as I mentioned before, I got a Nintendo Switch in December, and I've always been a Nintendo fan, so I've had a lot of games to catch up on recently, especially the Mario games. I recently 100% completed Mario Odyssey and 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I've already 100% completed Mario 3D All-Stars, and I've been playing New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which is a very underrated game. I'm working on 100%ing that game as well. I also got Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and unfortunately, even though the Spyro Trilogy is very good, the original trilogy, the camera in the Reignited version is just too zoomed in, and it's honestly not that enjoyable to play for that reason. You have to constantly be readjusting the camera unless I'm really missing something, so unfortunately I have not really been enjoying that game like I hoped I would. As you can probably tell with my small library of games with the Switch, I tend to be a completionist. I like to get 100% and get everything in the game possible that you can unlock, so that's probably why I like RuneScape as well, just because there is so much to do and unlock and strive for and goals you can set. Of course, it's difficult to 100% old school RuneScape, or maybe even close to impossible, but there's still lots of things you can complete 100%, like doing all the quests, or getting 99 in a skill, or completing a diary. It's very fun for me to 100% complete at least a subset of the game. I think the reason I am a completionist with at least games that I really like is because when I was a kid and I just had a Nintendo 64, I wouldn't get new games very often. I would only occasionally, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, get a used game, and I didn't really have a huge library of games to start out with, so I think I really just learned to maximize the fun that I could get from the games I already had. I would spend so much time just like wandering around Mario 64 and playing the multiplayer in Mario Kart and Mario Party 2 and replaying the main story in single-player games. But at a certain point you can pretty much do everything in the game and there's not really much to do other than stop playing it and then maybe come back to it and replay it again in a year or two. And that's kind of the situation I'm in with a couple Switch games, because with Mario Odyssey and 3D World, for example, those were amazing games and I really enjoyed going for 100% in them, but now there's really not much to do in those games. I mean, I could go and replay some of the levels or maybe play Luigi's Balloon World in Mario Odyssey, but aside from that, there's not really much of a reason to pick up those games again and play them, which is kind of the problem compared to old school RuneScape, because with old school, there's always something to do. People joke about bank standing and logging on and just having nothing to do, but in reality, if you're motivated to play OSRS, you can always find something to do. I mean, there are limitless things practically to do in OSRS. Whereas with Mario Odyssey, there won't be much left for me to do. I mean, there are a few things, but the only thing I could really think of as a way to play that game long term would be to speedrun it, which is something I don't really want to do. It's very time consuming to speedrun and very repetitive, which you could also say OSRS is, but speedrunning isn't for everyone, and I have done speedruns of other games like Ocarina of Time, but if you don't really want to speedrun a game, even if you did enjoy playing through it casually, then at a certain point you will run out of things to do. But OSRS does not really have that problem. You can play for many years and still have things to do, and there's still updates frequently enough to add new content even if you get bored of the existing content. Now, of course, there are games with similar replay value, and I think the main example would be multiplayer games. For example, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Even though the multiplayer in a competitive sense is actually somewhat repetitive for that game because you have only maybe 10 or less viable characters and a small number of tournament stages, it's just so fun that I could play that game and never get bored of it. But with a multiplayer game like that, you also don't have necessarily the sense of accomplishment. You know, if I just play melee friendlies for an hour, I didn't necessarily accomplish anything other than maybe improve my skill at the game. Of course, you can achieve things in competitive games, like if you were to win a tournament, that's certainly comparable. There are other exceptions as well, even for games that aren't multiplayer based. For example, I've played Mario Maker 2, and there are basically limitless amount of levels to play because other people are creating them. I'd say the main downside to OSRS compared to other games is the immediate fun factor is probably on the lower side. Like, if I'm just doing mining at Motherlode Mine, it's not really that fun. It's more of a long-term process of achieving that 99 mining, for example, but just if I were to go mine for 15 minutes, it's not that fun. Compared to if I was to play 15 minutes of melee friendlies, I would probably have a lot of fun even in that short time. There's exceptions to that though, like for example playing a game of Castle Wars. If it's a good game, you can have quite a lot of fun in a short time. Also, Old School does have a big advantage over many other games in the sense that it can be played as a single player game, like with an Iron Man and all that, or you can play it as a great multiplayer game and do PvM and PvP with other players and have fun on Discord. There's really so many different ways to play, and you can make many good friendships from this game. So yeah, I don't know how much sense this video made, but recently as I've been playing other games, I have been thinking about how does OSRS compare to these games, and certainly OSRS is a very good game, but it's also very different. OSRS is more like a long-term experience rather than a game you might just play and then move on from, unless you just never really get interested in the game. I'm curious, what do you guys think about this topic? And also, what other games do you guys play? Or do you even play any other games, or do you only play OSRS? Let me know if that's your situation as well. I've been like that at times as well, where OSRS is really the only game I'm playing actively until recently, so I'm really curious to hear what people have to say. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button and also subscribe if you haven't already. You can also enable bell notifications to all, so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram in the description and join my Discord server. You can join my friends chat and clan chat in-game, AndrewAJT62. And if you want to support the channel even further, you can check out my Patreon page in the end screen. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.